Good morning, everyone. Standing in this typically warm British sunshine. I have the privilege, my name is Paul Venice, and I have the privilege, and Andrew Reid has asked me just to share a very brief message with you today about this great event. What's the message that he's trying to send to us today? And I would like to summarize that message in 3 simple words for you. Are you ready? He loves me. I want you to say it with me real loud today. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
He loves me.
That is the absolute essence of this message. We hear of this horrific crucifixion. We know something of the story. But what we sometimes miss is the fact that the heartbeat of God is that He deeply loves people. You are a treasure to God. And if they hear just one thing from the Christian church, it should be that He loves them. As soon as we allow any pointing the finger, any criticizing, any putting down people, we've missed the whole point. It was John 3:16, some of you will know it, said God so loved the world. That's the cosmos, that's you and I. So loved the world that He gave His only Son. If our Christianity is just a matter of wearing a cross or holding a cross, or we say the Lord's Prayer, or we say grace, if that's all it is, then I want to suggest that what this man went through, we are missing the main point. Isaiah 53 was that He carried our pains and our sicknesses. He took those things so that we don't have to carry them. And I could summarize some of the problems that face our world today and will face some of you today. Here's the nutshell of it. Guilt and shame, fear, sickness. 3 things that ravage our world, Christian and non-Christian alike. Guilt and shame is something that was taken by Jesus and therefore should never be on the life of a human that is connected with Jesus.
Amen.
The idea that we should feel guilty is ridiculous if you read the Bible. If He took our guilt, why are we still carrying it? Walking around with guilt in your life is only going to damage you, which makes no sense when you think of John 10:10, which says that He came to give us an abundant life. Now it's the same with sickness. This is not a sickness message, but Isaiah did write that He carried our pains and our sicknesses. Some of us here today will be struggling with sicknesses. And I want to suggest to you that what the Bible is telling us is that Jesus didn't just enact this heroic thing 2,000 years ago, but according to the Bible, He carried our sicknesses. And He carried them so that we don't have to carry them.
That's right.
And then we have fear. And that's my last thought today. Fear is something that has damaged countless lives. And maybe as you're thinking about yourself and your own life, you realize that actually I've let little fears in here and there. I'm afraid of what the future might hold. I'm afraid that this bump on my body might be cancer. And I'm afraid that, the government is going to make these decisions. And I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to pay the bills and all these kinds of things. But the Bible says this, perfect love, casts out all fear. Christian people that identify with this Jesus have the privilege of walking without fear.
Amen.
What Jesus set out to do, He achieved.
Amen.
He didn't make a mistake. He didn't fall short. His love for you is perfect, and you will come close to that love. If you will decide today, I'm going to believe in that love. Whether you're in the church, been in the church for decades, or whether you're walking past and you've never heard this before, the same truth remains. The instant we decide, let's personally identify with this Jesus, then the healing that comes from him, the removal of shame and guilt, the fear of failure, the fear of every other thing, does not have to be carried by us any longer. That would kind of make us maybe the happiest, most blessed, most love-filled, life-filled people on the planet. Wouldn't it do that?
Yeah.
And I know we're not there, but my goodness, if somebody doesn't tell us where we can go, then we're going to be stuck where we are forever. I don't know about you, but I want to keep growing.
Yeah.
The core of it all, ladies and gentlemen, is that he loves you.
Amen.
Leave me with that great phrase, he loves me, one more time. Will you say it with me? 1, 2, 3.